Today I am with you again to share how to replant and restore orchids that have faded flowers, signs of shriveled leaves and wilted leaves. You can see that the leaves are wrinkled, weak, even shriveled. This is a sign that the plant is exhausted after flowering. If we do not intervene in time, orchids like this will find it very difficult to continue to exist according to their life cycle. The flowers have finished blooming, the flowers have all fallen, causing the plant to lose strength and easily fall into a state of withering if not properly cared for. Now, we will begin the process of restoring the plant. First, we remove the plant from the pot. You will observe that the roots are still fresh but have been disturbed quite a lot. Next, we will proceed to remove all the roots to process step by step. This growing medium is suitable for the environment in a greenhouse, where humidity and temperature are controlled. But when we bring the plant out into the natural environment, if we leave it as it is, the plant will not adapt. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button to support me, and so you don't miss any orchid care tips. It's great to have you along on this journey. Therefore, we must remove all the old growing medium, clean the roots to prepare for replanting in a dry, airy growing medium environment, suitable for natural conditions. That's it, we have removed all the roots and growing medium. Now, we will take the plant out and proceed to the next step. For the next part, we will use scissors to handle the roots. We will cut off all the rotten and damaged roots. The fresh roots at the bottom will be kept, but the rotten parts at the top must be removed immediately. Otherwise it will spread to other healthy roots and weaken the plant. Next, we will cut off the flower stem. This flower stem is dry, withered, and no longer able to flower or reproduce. So we cut it off completely so that the plant does not lose strength. Thus, we have cleaned up the old flower stem, helping the plant to be lighter and recover faster. First, we use clean water to wash the plant. After taking care of the roots and the growing medium, we will use a water hose to spray gently into all the crevices, leaf axils, and hard-to-clean areas. This is where mold and dirt often reside. If not treated carefully, the plant is very susceptible to disease. We spray until all the mold and dirt are completely washed away. Thus, our orchid has been cleaned. After washing, we rinse it again with clean water to ensure the plant is completely pure. With this treatment method, the orchids will be very effective, limiting fungal diseases and helping the plant grow healthily. After the cleaning step is complete, we will take the plant out and proceed to the next step. Here guys, we will use a lemon. Lemons contain a lot of vitamin C and minerals, have antibacterial and antifungal properties, and are also very effective in repelling insects. Now, we will use a knife to cut this lemon. We cut it in half to get half of the lemon for the next step. So we have 2 halves of fresh lemon. Next, we will take half of the lemon, squeeze it gently into a small glass to get the pure lemon juice. Here, we have obtained the nutrients from the lemon juice, ready for the next step. Next, we will prepare a clean container to mix the solution. We will pour in 1000 milliliters of clean water. What country are you watching this video from? Leave a comment to let me know. It's great that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. Next, we will take the lemon juice that we just squeezed. We use a teaspoon, scoop exactly 1 spoon of lemon juice into the water container. Then, we stir well to completely dissolve the lemon juice in the water, creating a natural treatment solution that is safe for orchids. And next, we will prepare a clean box to treat the plant. We put the box down, then put our entire orchid in from the base, the root collar, to the entire root system below. we put it in the box, making sure the plant is placed in the correct position without broken roots or crushed stems. When the entire orchid is in the box, we start adding the lemon juice that we prepared earlier. Lemon juice will help fight bacteria and fungi very strongly. At the same time, the amount of natural vitamins in lemon will stimulate the orchid to recover quickly, refresh the root tissue, and help the plant regain vitality. After adding lemon juice, we soak the entire orchid in this solution for about 30 minutes. During that time, the solution will penetrate each root crevice, clean the fungus, help the plant to be purified and ready for the next recovery step. For the next part, we will prepare a liter of clean water. We will use honey, a natural ingredient with very strong antibacterial and antifungal properties, and at the same time, like forest pollen, it helps the orchid to thrive, recover quickly, and stimulate the growth of young roots. Next, we'll take a teaspoon of honey and add it to the liter of water we have just prepared. Then we stir well so that the honey is completely dissolved in the water, creating a light nutrient solution, which is very good for the recovery process of the plant. Next, after soaking our orchid in the solution for about 30 minutes, we will gently take it out. Soaking in lemon juice is very effective in fighting bacteria and fungi, and also stimulates the orchid to recover faster. We will set the tree aside and continue with the next step. For the next part, we will prepare a clean container. Then, we put our entire orchid plant from the base, stem to the roots into the container. Once the plant is fixed in the container, we will proceed to soak the plant. At this time, we add honey water. Honey contains natural pollen from the forest, has antibacterial properties, regenerates tissue, helps the orchid to restore cells and revive very quickly. We will let the plant soak in this mixture for about 25 minutes so that the nutrients are absorbed evenly and have the best effect. After 25 minutes, we will gently lift the orchid out of the box. We will scoop the entire plant up to drain, thus completing our honey soaking process. The mixture of honey and natural pollen will help the root tips recover. The cell tissues will regenerate very quickly, helping the orchid to grow strongly and regain vitality. After scooping the plant out, we will set it aside to continue with the next processing step. In the next part, we will start replanting in a new pot. Our orchid, after being soaked in honey water containing sugar and natural pollen, has been kept very moist. The cell tissues are stimulated to regenerate quickly, helping the plant to revive strongly. Now we prepare a very airy pot, with many holes for drainage and oxygen circulation. Today we use pine bark, a very airy, clean, environmentally friendly growing medium, helping the orchid roots to grow healthily. First, we will put a layer of pine bark on the bottom of the pot. Next, we will slowly place the orchid in the correct position, then add more pine bark around. We will gently tap the pot so that the pine bark can penetrate the root crevices, helping the roots to be fixed and adhere firmly. Thus, we have finished planting a new orchid pot, clean, airy, technically correct. In the next part, we will cover the pot with a very thin layer of dry moss. The purpose of this moss layer is to help maintain stable moisture, create a soft and cool environment for young roots to take root faster, and stimulate the orchid to develop a new root system strongly. Here, as you can see, just a thin layer is enough to keep the natural moisture for the plant without making the pot stuffy. Thus, we have completed the step of planting the plant and covering it with moss to retain moisture. With this method, our orchid will quickly recover, become green again, and soon sprout roots and leaves very strongly. Now, we will take the plant out into the garden, place it in a cool, airy area, away from direct sunlight so that the plant can gradually get used to the environment. After a day of stabilization, we continue to care for it according to the appropriate regimen so that the orchid can recover and grow stronger. Now we will start preparing a natural fertilizer to care for orchids. We use oats, a very good ingredient because it contains vitamin B, potassium, phosphorus, and many trace minerals that help stimulate roots and increase the resistance of plants. We will take 2 spoons of oats, put them in the container to start the mixing process. 2 spoons are enough to create a batch of nutrients suitable for orchids to grow well. Next, we will add 500 milliliters of clean filtered water. Then, we stir well to let the oats penetrate and dissolve the starch into the water, creating natural nutrients for the orchid. Once dissolved, we cover the lid and leave the mixture as is. After 3 hours, let the nutrients soak in completely. After 3 hours, the starch is completely dissolved into the water. We stir it again to make the nutrients even, then prepare a clean container. Next, we filter out all the residue, keeping only the clear nutrient-rich water. Thus, we have a container of pure oatmeal water ready to use to care for the orchid. Next, we will prepare a clean bottle, then pour the filtered oatmeal water inside. In the next step, we will spray this nutrient on the entire leaf surface. Foliar fertilization like this helps the orchid absorb very quickly. The top of the leaf is washed clean of dirt. The bottom is removed from mold and pathogens. Nutrients penetrate through the stomata and capillaries, helping the plant recover strongly and become green and clean again. We take care of it with this nutrient every 2 weeks to maintain stable growth. On normal days, we only need to water and mist to keep the leaves cool and the substrate moist enough. Then, instead of spraying, we can water the nutrients directly at the base to add more nutrients to the root system, helping the plant grow stronger. Next, we will prepare a clean spray bottle. We put the filtered oatmeal water into the bottle. Now we will water directly at the base, wetting the roots and the substrate evenly. This method of fertilizing through the roots helps the roots absorb nutrients faster, pumping them straight up to the stem and leaves, so that the orchid can photosynthesize well and grow strongly. Then, we will soak the pot for about 20 minutes. When enough time has passed, we gently lift the orchid out and take it out into the garden. During this period, we place the plant in a shady, airy area with gentle light. This helps the orchid stimulate the roots, photosynthesize, recover without being shocked by heat. Absolutely avoid direct sunlight shining directly on the leaves. There, we will leave the tree in its usual place in the garden, where it has adapted well before. After 3 weeks, our orchid has clearly changed. The leaves that were previously dull and slightly wrinkled have now healed, become shiny green and gradually become stronger. Thanks to the proper and regular care regimen, the plant has begun to recover naturally and is very healthy. After 3 weeks, we check the roots. New roots have popped up a lot on the edge of the pot. White, green, plump, and healthy, signaling that the plant has absorbed nutrients well and begun to enter the strong growth stage. This is an extremely positive signal. With our persistent and dedicated care, the orchid has completely revived. Once it has new roots, the orchid will recover extremely quickly. Hard leaves, strong stem, significantly increased resistance. Clean, bright leaves are the condition for the plant to photosynthesize well. Healthy roots will absorb nutrients strongly, helping the plant to grow stably and persistently. We will continue to care for the orchids with oat fertilizer so that the orchids can maintain their growth momentum, take stronger roots, and soon produce healthy buds and flower buds in the next stage. After 2 months of continuous care, our orchid has truly revived strongly. The leaves that were previously wilted and wrinkled have now returned to a state of being sturdy, thick, shiny, and lush green. The stems and leaves are growing strongly. New shoots are sprouting very quickly, signaling that the plant is entering a period of extremely good growth. More specifically, the plant has begun to sprout a new flower spike. This is the clearest sign that the orchid has completely recovered and is preparing for a brilliant flowering season. The flower spike emerges strongly from between the 2 leaves, very healthy and full of vitality. With regular, dedicated care and love put into each stage, the orchid has regained life from a weak, almost exhausted state, with thick, beautiful, shiny, and smooth leaves. Now we check the roots. The roots are white, strong, protruding above the edge of the pot, with roots crawling out of the pot. This is the most obvious sign of recovery. Once the plant has a strong root system like this, it will definitely continue to grow strongly. Sprout leaves, sprout shoots, and flower very well. Orchids with strong root systems will always be the most stable plants. Strong roots, thick leaves, strong shoots, even flower buds. How to restore orchids after flowering extremely strong? Today, I will share with you a completely new method of making natural fertilizer extremely simple, but brings a strong orchid recovery effect that will surprise you. With just a few familiar ingredients, your orchid will quickly regain strength, root well, and be ready for the next flowering period. Here I use an apple as a raw material to restore orchids, which is also an ingredient to make natural fertilizer. Apples contain minerals, vitamins, and organic compounds that help stimulate healthy roots, increase resistance, and support plants to produce large, long-lasting flowers and grow stronger. Then, we continue to slice the apple into small pieces. Continue to chop or shred to create very small pieces of apple, preparing for the step of mixing the orchid nutrient mixture. What country are you watching this video from? Leave a comment to let me know. It's great that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. Next, we prepare a container or a clean jar. Once the apples are sliced, we pour all the chopped apples into the jar. Make sure the jar is dry, clean, and free of impurities. Then, we continue with the next step to prepare the nutrient solution for the orchid. Next, pour 500 milliliters of hot water into the jar. Hot water will help release the nutrients in the apples faster, creating a nutrient-rich soaking mixture to restore the roots and stimulate the orchid to grow strongly. Next, we prepare the oats. Oats contain a lot of B vitamins and minerals that help stimulate roots and restore plants very well. We put 2 spoons of oats into the jar where the apples are soaked. Then stir well so that the oats start to dissolve and release nutrients. After stirring, we cover the jar tightly and place it in a cool place for a day. During this time, the mixture of apples and oats will permeate and ferment slightly, creating an extremely effective nutrient solution to care for and restore orchids. After preparing the nutrient solution, we clean the plant before taking care of it. This is a mandatory step if you want to replant, change the pot, and add new substrate for orchids that have finished flowering. If you follow the correct procedure, the plant will recover quickly and continue to grow to flower for the next batch. Green patches, Moss around the base must be removed completely. Any roots that are rotten or damaged, trim them decisively. Do not keep them. Continue to remove rotten substrate, old growing medium that has lost nutrients. There are some damaged roots here. We will handle them immediately. Green moss patches are a sign of a humid, dirty environment. Infected with fungus must be removed. These branches are no longer valuable, and we will cut them off immediately so the tree can focus its nutrients on the recovery phase. Next, we prepare a pair of clean scissors and start to process the damaged roots. Rotten, black, soft roots, cut them off immediately. Do not keep them because they will spread disease, bacteria to healthy roots and weaken the plant further. Even roots that grow but are no longer able to grow, remove them to avoid wasting nutrients. Then, we move on to processing the flower branches. Dry, shriveled, useless branches, we cut them off completely. When cutting, we make a diagonal beveled cut so that rainwater does not accumulate on the top of the branch, avoiding tip rot. Any part that is no longer valuable, remove it all. At this point, all damaged roots have been removed, and most of the rotten substrate has also been removed. Now we lift the plant out and clean all the roots and base with clean water to prepare for replanting. Next, we take the plant out and clean it completely with clean water. Any orchid, before replanting, must go through this first cleaning step. If done correctly, the recovery effect will be much higher. We spray strongly into the crevices, the underside of the roots and leaves, to completely wash away mold, dirt and impurities still stuck from the old environment. After washing, we wipe the leaf surface clean, helping the plant to be airy and absorb light better. This method helps the orchid to revive very quickly. The dormant buds and flower branches will recover, continue to sprout and flower again. After cleansing, we let the plant drain and prepare for replanting as follows. Next, we prepare a clean container. Then, we pour in exactly 1000 milliliters of water. That is, 1 liter of water to serve as a solvent for the next step of mixing the care solution. Next, we add exactly 3 drops of potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate has a strong antiseptic effect, helping to kill fungi and bacteria that stick to the roots and stems of orchids. After adding potassium permanganate, we stir well to dissolve the medicine completely in the water, creating a stable antiseptic solution. Next, we prepare a clean container. Then, we put the entire orchid plant in the container to proceed with the sterilization step. Once the plant has been fixed in the container, we pour in the potassium permanganate solution that we just mixed. The entire root and base must be submerged in water. Thus, we will soak the orchid plant in the potassium permanganate solution to sterilize, remove fungi, bacteria, and help the plant to be completely clean before entering the recovery and replanting stage. Next, we prepare a soft cotton pad. Dip the cotton pad in the potassium permanganate solution that has just been mixed. Then we wipe it directly on the entire stem and leaves of the orchid. The top of the leaf will be cleaned of dirt, the bottom will be killed of mold, completely removing the hidden fungal nests inside. We wipe each stain and each patch of fungus thoroughly, do it firmly, so that the potassium permanganate can disinfect the entire surface of the plant. This method helps the orchid to recover quickly, without any remaining mold. Thus, we have completely cleaned the leaves and stem of the orchid. Now we put the plant down and continue to soak it for another 30 minutes to thoroughly disinfect before moving on to the recovery step. After 30 minutes of soaking in the pot, our orchid has been completely treated in the potassium permanganate solution container. At this point, all mold and bacteria on the roots and stems have been destroyed. The surface of the plant is completely clean and there is no longer any source of disease. Thanks to this thorough sterilization step, the orchid will regenerate root tissue better, recover quickly and grow strongly in the next stage. Now we lift the plant out of the pot and set it aside to drain. When the plant is completely dry, we proceed to the replanting step. Next, we take the plant out and start planting it in a new pot. The pot must have many holes for good drainage, so that the roots do not get clogged and do not retain too much moisture. First, we put a thin layer of foam at the bottom of the pot. The foam layer helps increase ventilation and supports drainage, avoiding stagnation that causes root rot. Then, we place the orchid in the middle of the pot. Next, we used pine bark chips as a growing medium. The pine bark has been sterilized and treated for mold before use, ensuring the safety of the root system. We insert pine bark around the base, gradually filling it up and keeping the plant stable. Next, we gently tap the edge of the pot so that the pine bark chips are wedged in more tightly, helping the roots to be fixed and not shaken. So we have finished planting the orchid. The entire growing medium is in the right position and the plant is firmly fixed in the pot. Next, we cover the pot with a layer of moss to retain moisture. Moss, for growing orchids, has the ability to retain moisture extremely well, is airy, and has natural antibacterial properties, creating a stable environment to help orchid roots grow healthily, absorb nutrients effectively and limit root rot and waterlogging. This layer of moss is especially useful for young orchids, orchids that love humidity, or those who do not have much time to care for them. Thus, we have completed replanting the orchid. The root system is stable, the substrate is clean, the plant is ready to enter a new stage of recovery and development. Next, we take a little cinnamon powder and sprinkle it directly on the wounds on the orchid stem and base. Cinnamon powder has a strong antiseptic effect, helps the cut dry quickly, heals quickly, prevents fungi from re-entering, especially important at the points where new flower buds and roots grow. After disinfecting, we take the plant to a shady area and leave it there for a day. This period of time helps the orchid roots stabilize in the pot, avoid environmental shock and help the plant adapt to the new substrate. After a day, our mixture of oatmeal and apple juice has been slightly fermented, completely absorbed and transformed into a liquid fertilizer rich in nutrients. At this point, we just need to stir well to stabilize the solution, then immediately put it into the orchid care process. This is an important step to stimulate roots, restore and promote growth for the plant. Next, we prepare a container. Then use a filter to remove all the residue. We pour the slightly fermented apple and oat water through it. Thus, we have separated all the residue and obtained a pure nutrient solution, a mixture of apple juice and fermented oats. This is a light but extremely effective source of nutrients to continue caring for the orchid. Next, after a day of planting, our orchid has begun to stabilize its roots in the pot. At this time, we take the plant out and take care of it with fermented nutrients. Then, we prepare a nutrient mixture. we pour in the filtered oatmeal and apple juice, combined with vitamin C, B, potassium and phosphorus. This is a combination of nutrients that helps the orchid recover strongly, stimulates rapid and stable growth. Next, we spray this entire mixture on the orchid leaves. The top of the leaves is completely washed clean of dirt, the underside of the leaves is cleaned of mold and pathogens. The fermented nutrient water contains beneficial bacteria. When it sticks to the leaves, it will create a protective layer of microorganisms, gradually destroying harmful bacteria, helping the orchid to be healthy, disease-free, and increase resistance. The nutrients will penetrate from the leaves to the roots, helping the roots to absorb quickly, develop stably, and nourish the entire plant to be stronger. After spraying leaves, continue watering the roots to complete the care cycle. Next, we proceed to water the nutrients directly into the orchid roots. We prepare a container, put the filtered nutrient water fertilizer in, then water directly to the roots. The nutrients will penetrate the roots and substrate, helping the orchid continue to grow, absorbing nutrients from the roots to nourish the leaves and the entire stem. Next, we soak the whole pot for about 20 minutes so that the nutrients penetrate deeply into the substrate. The roots can absorb the maximum, the plant will recover and grow faster. This is an important step for the orchid to absorb nutrients thoroughly. Care regimen with this nutrient, periodically every 2 weeks for the entire orchid garden. On normal days, every 3 days we spray mist and water to keep moist with clean filtered water, helping the plant maintain stable humidity and grow healthily. Next, after 20 minutes of soaking the pot, we spray nutrients on the entire plant. After spraying, we must use a clean cotton towel to wipe the leaf buds and leaf axils, removing excess water. This helps reduce surface moisture, avoid creating an environment for mold to penetrate, and ensure that the orchid leaves are always airy. The damaged areas will gradually turn green again when properly cared for with nutrients. After 20 minutes, we lift the orchid out of the soaking pot and put it in a shady area with diffused light. This is the stage when the plant needs stable conditions for clean leaves, good photosynthesis, and stronger metabolism. We place the plant outside in the garden, in the right position with suitable light, so that the plant can continue to recover and regain its growth. Thus, after 3 weeks of proper care, the orchid has entered a stable state. The leaves have clearly thickened, the leaf surface is shiny, the tips are strong, and the entire stem and leaves are clean and sturdy, showing very good vitality. Next, we check the root system. The roots have grown thick, white and strong, and are constantly growing new. This is an important sign that the plant is absorbing nutrients well and recovering strongly. Look here, a lot of new roots have grown, clinging tightly to the substrate, proving that the plant is completely healthy and growing in the right direction. Bright leaves, strong roots. That is the foundation for us to continue to put the plant into an intensive fertilization cycle. We maintain organic fertilizer from apples and oats every 2 weeks, helping the plant continue to sprout, push new roots, and develop on the pine bark substrate in a sustainable, stable, and environmentally friendly way. After a month, the orchid has clearly regained its vitality. The leaves have become thick, shiny, the leaf surface is tight and healthy, proof of our methodical and regular care process. The plant grows strongly, the stem and leaves are clean, sturdy, and show no signs of weakness. Next, we look at the root system. The roots have protruded from the mouth of the pot a lot, are white, strong, and develop completely naturally both at the base and the axils of the stem. This is a sign that the plant is reaching its peak of growth. And more specifically, the plant has begun to push the flower stalks. The flower stalks grow strong, straight, with fresh colors and rich internal strength. This whole process is the result of care with fermented nutrients in the garden, combined with a standard watering regime and growing medium environment. The plant does not encounter any diseases. The well-ventilated growing medium helps the roots to work strongly. When repotted in a new growing medium, the plant catches up very quickly and recovers remarkably. What do you think about the way I care for this orchid? Don't hesitate to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I really look forward to hearing your feedback and experiences. Each share from you is a valuable source of motivation to help us learn together and love plants more every day. In the next video, I will reveal a new method to revive care for orchids, help the plant root up rapidly and bloom quickly to the point of overwhelming.